What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Devin and I hope that you will consider sticking around and subscribing. And if you're not new, as always, welcome back. You know I love you. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about the Colourpop Matte About Hue palette. This is their all matte rainbow mega palette. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, I need that. That does something for me. That adds to my collection. I am picking that up. I am a huge fan of the Colourpop Mega palettes. I am a fan of big palettes in general. I know some people don't like them. So as I'm sure you could have guessed, we are going to be doing this look right here using this palette. But as I'm sure you can also tell, there is a little bit of shimmer on my eyelids as well. So when I was purchasing this palette, of course, I couldn't just buy one thing on the Colourpop website. So I actually, because this is an all matte palette, I was browsing and I was like, you know what? Let me look at some Super Shocks because I don't have a lot of them. I don't think about them often or use them often. But I feel like an all matte palette like this would be a good thing to pair with some fun single Super Shocks. So what I actually ended up going with was the Peeps collection. So I have a couple of them here. These are the two colors that I used in today's look, green and yellow. When this collection was announced, I thought that they were so adorable. I loved the concept. I just didn't think, again, it was Super Shocks and I think some lip products, and I was like, well, I don't really use Super Shocks that much, so I'm not gonna get it. But when this palette came out, I was like, okay, I think that that warrants a purchase of a set of rainbow Super Shocks as well. So I did get the entire Peeps collection, but I just used the green and the yellow in the look today. So anyway, if you are interested in seeing how I got this look on my face today, then please stay tuned. But one more thing, and then I'm done with this rambly intro, but I just feel like I have to officially say it here on my channel. If you follow me on Instagram, you know this already because this happened a couple weeks ago at this point, but life has been crazy. So this is my first YouTube video that I'm filming since it happened, but Sean and I got engaged. We are so excited. We're so happy. I was so shocked when it happened. I had no idea it was coming. I mean, obviously, you know, we've been together for a long time. I knew we would eventually get engaged. I just didn't know it was coming as soon as it did, which was just amazing. It was a great day. I don't want to ramble on too much about it because that's not what this video is about, but I felt like I just needed to, you know, officially say it here on the channel for you guys. Just, you know, it's a big thing that just happened in my life. I'm super happy about it and I just wanted to officially announce it. So that being said, if you have not watched my boyfriend does my makeup video that I posted a couple weeks ago with Sean, it's hilarious. I highly recommend watching it if you want to get to know him and see him in action as well. And then I also did recently post a bonus footage of him picking out the makeup that he wanted to use for that video. So that video is up on my channel as well. So like I said, we're very happy, very excited. If you want to hear, I don't know, I guess I'd be willing to film like a chatty get ready with me if you guys are interested in hearing like the story, if you're interested in hearing about the day. I totally am willing to film that if that's something that you guys are interested in, but also if you're not, I totally understand that. Like, it's, you know, just let me know. Just let me know if you want to hear the story. I'm happy to tell you. If you don't, that's okay. Leave me a comment below if you want to see it. All right, if I have to guess, this intro is at least 3 minutes long at this point. So without further ado, let's get into the makeup. Okay, so I've been sitting here for a few minutes consulting my Pinterest board. I have a Pinterest board called Color Inspo of just like all colorful makeup looks, just to get my brain juices flowing when I'm sitting down to do a look. And I have been going back and forth on what color scheme I even want to do with this because obviously there's just so many options, and I'll be honest, my eye immediately goes to this row and goes, do a purple smoky eye. But I actually also want to film with my Michaela palette this weekend because I haven't filmed with that yet and I've had it for literally months. And I think I might like gravitate towards purple with that. So I'm going to steer clear of purple, and I think that green is actually going to be the vibe today. That being said, I've already done my brows and primed my eyes and set my primer off of camera. So we're just going to get right into it with the palette. I don't want to start too dark at the beginning, so I'm just going to go right here in the middle with this shade Gone Meta. And this is on a Sigma E55. And I'm just going to start packing that right onto my lid. We're just going for the green right away. And I'm going to try to stick to one eye so that I can film a reel on the other. So I'm just packing this on. I'm just going to start building the general shape that I want. Not worried about it being too neat because obviously we're gonna blend, but I'm covering my entire lid with it, and then I'm also bringing it up just a little bit like into and above my crease to start to bring the shape up onto my brow bone as well. Okay, so pigment right off the bat, really good. I am very pleased with the color payoff. Went on really easily. So let's go. I'm gonna go up to the shade Say Less. And I'm just getting it on a fluffy brush here. So as you can see, this is a nice like neon limey green. And this is just a fluffy crease brush. This is from a BH Cosmetics set. It's the Bombshell Beauty set, and it's the number 5 brush. So I'm just gonna start working this into the crease to blend out and soften the edge of that shade we just laid down. And then I also think that this shade will warm up the look a little bit. It's got a lot more, this shade leans a lot more yellow. Okay, and I'm not taking the blend too far out this way because I'm definitely going for more of like a rounded smoky eye look as opposed to like a drawn out, like elongated look. I'm not gonna do like a sharp edge. I'm gonna keep this nice and smoky and blended. Okay, so I feel like that color blended out pretty nicely as well, but I will say, you can probably tell right here, it looks like it's picking up in my monitor. It definitely picked up some of that shade that we had on the lid. As I was blending, I also have, I feel like I knocked a little bit of it under my eye here as well. I have a little bit of fallout. Not a huge deal. I probably could have used a more precise blending brush for that, but all I'm gonna do is just get a little bit more of that first shade Gone Meta back on that same brush that I was using. And I'm just gonna fill in the gaps where I just kind of picked up that shadow on the other brush. So it's really not a big deal. When you're blending, I just like to work back and forth until I'm kind of satisfied with how everything looks. So obviously do what works for you in that situation. If you don't have deep set eyes like me, you might not run into that problem with your crease shade, like your brush picking up that shadow so much because the areas don't touch. Am I even making sense right now? I don't know. Can you tell I haven't filmed in like 3 weeks? Okay, so I'm looking at these two Super Shocks here. So I just kind of automatically thought that I would just use this green one, but now I'm also looking at the yellow because I definitely used more of like the lighter, more yellowy greens as opposed to these like deeper, more Christmas tree greens. And I feel like this green leans a bit more Christmas tree-y, whereas like this might pull into the look a little bit better. So okay, I think I'm gonna go with the green. I think that's just my initial gut feeling, and I think it'll still work. So again, this is the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Peeps Green. These are limited edition, so depending on when you're watching this, I think they're still available at the time that I'm filming this, but I don't know how long they will continue to be available. I'm gonna start with this on the lid, and then maybe if I feel like I need to add the yellow, I can put the yellow on top, but I'm also thinking potentially yellow in the inner corner. So I'm just getting that color on my finger, and I'm just gonna tap it directly onto my lid. Okay, so I definitely think that the best way to apply this Super Shock formula is with your finger, but I still want to pick a little bit of this up on just a little, what do you call this, like packing brush, like this. I want to just pick up a little bit more of that shadow because I just want to use it to get a little bit more precise up into my crease. Again, because I have such like a strong brow bone there, sometimes it's hard for me to get up in this little crevice with just my fingers. Okay, so now I'm thinking yellow in the inner corner. So I'm gonna take this shade here, it's called Elephant. I'm gonna take it on a little pencil brush here. This is a Morphe M431, but whatever you have. And I am just gonna pop that right here in the inner corner for a little extra brightness. And honestly, I think this is coming together pretty nicely. Yeah, pretty. It's not super in your face, but I think it just adds a nice little touch there to the inner corner. I always forget how much I like a matte inner corner. Okay, just because we're playing around and having fun, I do want to take a little bit of this yellow. So I'm just getting a little bit of that on my finger. And I'm just gonna go, I think maybe just try tapping the yellow in the center of the lid only. Almost like a little baby halo eye, just for a little extra dimension right in the middle. Yeah, so pretty. I hope it reads on camera. In person, that looks so nice. I love that. And I love how well like these two shades are layering on top of each other. Love it. Okay, one last step because I just want a little bit more in the crease. I'm just gonna go to this color here. It's called Stop. And I feel like I have to say it like that because it has 3 P's. So I just got a little tiny bit of that color and I'm just gonna lightly run that through the crease. I just feel like I need a little bit more oomph in the crease, and I felt like it just looked a little bit too light up here, so. Okay, I am gonna leave the top lid just like this, I think. I am going to pop off of camera. I'm gonna film a reel on this eye. I'll put my face makeup on, and then we will come back to finish up this eye look. So I will see you in just a minute. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I did my other eye. I actually, while I was filming the reel, also popped on a little bit of eyeliner in my waterline. So I just used this. This is one of the Colourpop cream gel liners. This is in the shade Electric Daisy. Whoop, as I throw it on the ground. This is very old. It's at least 2 years old, and honestly, it was a little dry when I was applying it, and I probably should toss it. But the reason I'm saying that is because I unfortunately don't think this is available anymore. If you go on the Colourpop website, I don't know that you'll find this under their eyeliner section. But that being said, I had it in my collection and I thought it would pair really well with this look, so I just popped it on. So real quick before we get into the complexion, I'm just gonna clean up my under eye with a makeup wipe. I might have to touch up my inner corner once my complexion's done, but that's okay. I just don't want my concealer to have like yellow or green in it, you know? And I'm not worried about doing a sharp edge out here, but again, I just don't wanna have that eyeshadow in my under eye, so once we start blending the concealer, everything will look smooth and blended. So I think I said before that I was gonna do the rest of my makeup off camera and then come back, but I thought that I would just at least show you guys what I'm using. So I'll speed you up so this video is not too long, but I'm just gonna hold up the products and show the application of it just in case you're curious of what I'm using. So feel free to skip through this part if you don't care about the complexion, but if you do, let's move into that right now. Okay friends, let's finish the lower lash line really quick, and then I definitely need to touch up my inner corner now that I've done my foundation and concealer and stuff as well. So I am gonna go into the shade Gone Meta, and I'm taking this on this little BH flat definer brush. Anything that's like skinny like this will help you get right up along the lash line. I'm just gonna tap that in right along the lower lash line. And last but not least, just grabbing my little pencil brush and going back into the shade Elephant one more time. And we're just brightening up that inner corner again now that we've done our complexion. You could just wait to the end to do your inner corner. I do it before I do my complexion because a lot of times I forget to do it at the end. And then I like look back on my videos or like my looks and I'm like it would have looked a lot more finished if I did the inner corner. I really like the inner corner as like a finishing touch. So I just find that like for my brain personally, if I do it before I do my complexion, it kind of like makes me remember to touch it up afterwards. And even then sometimes I still forget, but like I said, I just think that this adds such a nice finishing touch. Okay, mascara and lashes. I'm gonna pop them on and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, let's get a lip on and call it a night because it's getting a little late and I need to go to bed. So for lip liner, this is not going to be a surprise to anybody, but I am just going to use my handy dandy, never fails me Colourpop BFF. All right, then I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Lippie Stick in the shade Fab. Not 100% sure if this is still an available shade or not because it came like in as part of a collection, but it's just kind of like a warm medium nude, so I don't think it'll be hard to find something like this if this exact shade doesn't exist. Okay, I'm not sure if I was just recording the application of the lip gloss, but in case I wasn't, I just used this butter gloss from NYX. This is in the shade Fortune Cookie. It's a great go-to, especially for this lip. I felt like the lip liner and the lipstick actually were looking a little bit darker than I wanted for this look. And I do feel like this, you know, super nudie lip gloss helped lighten it up a little bit. So if you don't have this shade, it's all of these are $5, but this shade Fortune Cookie specifically, it's so good. Go grab it. It's such a good staple to have in your collection. It's a great like center of the lip color. It's just a great nude lip gloss to put over top of literally anything. All right, my friends, finished look. What do we think? Short answer, I really like it. I did not have any problems with this palette at all. I mean, I really was not expecting to. I love Colourpop. Colourpop's my favorite. The majority of my eyeshadow palettes are from Colourpop. I expect good things from their formula. So I know that color eyeshadows can be a little bit trickier than neutral eyeshadows, but I really do not have any complaints. They went on really pigmented. They went on really smoothly. I did not have trouble blending anything out. Obviously, I can only speak to the greens, specifically, honestly, these three shadows, because that's all I used. Well, also the yellow too. So I can only really speak to this little section right here, but you know, you get the point. Obviously, I'm not going to use every single color in this palette on the first look, or on the first try, or like in one look. Oh my gosh, I can tell it's getting late because I can't talk, but I think you get my point. I also am really glad that I picked up these Peeps Super Shocks. Like I said, when this collection came out, I thought it was so darn cute, but I just didn't feel like it was a necessary purchase at the time. And when I was purchasing this rainbow palette, I was like, okay, I think now is the time for some rainbow Super Shocks. Let's bring some of those eyeshadows into my life. But that being said, the Super Shock formula is really so amazing. These are awesome, especially if you are somebody that likes to just kind of like tap a shimmer on the lid and go. These are great, and they have a million options. So yeah. So again, as far as the palette goes, no complaints. I love it. If you're a rainbow lover, if you're a matte lover, I really like, what else do you need out of this palette? Again, I'm obsessed with the gradient. I'm obsessed with like the full spectrum that we've got here. I really, really like this palette, and I do really feel like it adds something to my collection. So I'm really excited to do more with it. Definitely let me know if you want to see more looks. I definitely am happy to continue playing around with this on camera for you guys. I love it. It's just so fun to just look at, just look at it. But with all of that being said, that's going to be the end of this video. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any future uploads from me. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm at devdevgregs over there as well. And leave me a comment down below letting me know what your thoughts are on this palette. Did you pick it up? Did you think it was necessary? Do you think Colourpop needs to stop making a million palettes at once? Definitely let me know in the comments below. And with that, I will catch you in my next one. Mwah. Love you. Bye.